In this video, we're going to have a look at some simple Excel project tools. These tools have been designed to be very straightforward to use, easy to customize, and above all, you get to choose the ones that you need and you don't have to bother the ones that you don't need. The way it works is that essentially it's all built into a single spreadsheet, and by hiding or unhiding, you basically display the tools that you particularly want to use. So here we can see that in the corner of the spreadsheet we've got a work in progress that's being used, budget tracking, and then a weekly timeline. And if we wanted to, there's a whole bunch of other tools in here which we could include decisions, variations, a management report template, and so on and so on. So if we look at the options, basically our sort of basic starter kit, which you'd want pretty well in all projects, is some kind of work in progress. So there's a spreadsheet that does that, and it provides for really essentially 3 levels at which you can use it, depending on how much sophistication you need in it, from very simple to a bit more complex. If you want to move up to a more sophisticated approach, then you would go from there and you say, well, actually I'm going to use the Microsoft project for scheduling, which is obviously outside the Excel spreadsheet. But back to the Excel, we can then go, well, look, we need something that helps us to present this to management while we're actually doing all the planning work. So give us a sort of visual timeline that helps us with that. Another area in the sort of planning side of things is a risk register, so that any project that gets of a certain size, it becomes more important that we actually formally identify and analyze the risks. Beyond that, we might want to do some more detailed work on budgeting and resourcing, and again, we could do it in a back of envelope way in the work in progress, but if we need to get more detailed, then there's a little tool that helps us do that. So that's the planning side of things and the tools that apply to it. Then if we move from there to what are the project control options, so this is really when we're at the execution stage of the project and we need to track it and monitor and keep it going well, then again central to this is our work in progress. Now with the work in progress in this situation, we can actually extend it out a little bit, and we'll see that in a subsequent video, so it becomes a tracking tool as opposed to a planning tool that we were talking about before. And again, the option to upgrade to Microsoft Project can do the same thing but on a more sophisticated basis. And back to the Excel options, we've got the option of a budget tracking tool, which allows us to see what's been spent and what's still to be spent and whether we can hit our targets there. There are tools to record variations and assess the impact of variations. There are tools around management reporting for those sorts of projects which need some formal reporting either for a management committee or a governance group or an executive that hasn't got the appetite for going through the detail. And supporting that, of course, is the visual timeline, which we talked about, and potentially things like calendars, which can also be very useful for showing what's happening over the next period coming up. Beyond that, we have issues logs, which is used in pretty well any project of a certain size, and of course the risk register, but now used in a tracking approach rather than a planning approach. And then we've got templates built in there for minutes. Some projects require minutes. On the whole, we tend to go, let's build that into the work in progress, but some projects and some meetings require separate meetings, and of course agendas are always a useful idea. Now, to get to that, the template, basically if you go to www.widowprojects.com/Excel tools, then you will be able to download that and use it in any way you see fit. So we'll just move on to what it actually looks like. So here we have the one that we looked at before, work in progress. We've used budget tracking and a weekly timeline. Okay, so they're the 3 basic tools we've decided we're going to go with. And if we decided that we were going to add some other ones, we might go unhide, and up here we can see that we've got all the various options that we can add to it. So let's say we wanted to have something for a management report. We just pick that, and there we go, the management report appears down the bottom there. So we've got these three tools, and we can then use them, and if we change our mind later on and decide we need some more, then we can add them as well. And that's the end of that little video.